What's up, guys? Today is the 3rd, and looks like we have. I don't think I went over the VS Code updates for a while. Let me see. Preview Markdown images in videos. Hover over a link to preview images and videos in Markdown. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Consider the markdown file. README example 1, example 2. The two example headers have the same text, but can each be linked to individually by using a unique ID. Example 1, example 1. Previously, if you named the first example header to first example, the example link would be correctly changed to first example. The example 1 link would not be changed. However, example 1 is no longer a valid name after the rename because there are no longer duplicated example headers. First example header to first example. We now correctly handle this scenario. If you rename the first example header to first example in the document above, for instance, the new document would be README example 1, first example. Example 2, example. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know, I'm not really, sure what they're talking about there. Enhance branch switching. Restore open editors seamlessly when switching between branches. I already thought that was a thing. This milestone we have addressed. Save, restore open editors when switching branches. We have addressed a long-standing feature request to save and restore editors when switching between source control branches. Save and restore editors when switching between source control branches. Use this scm.workingsets.enabled setting to enable this feature. To control the open editors when switching to a branch for the first time, you can use the scm.workingsets.default setting. You select to have no open editors, empty, or to use the currently open editors, current, the default value. To control the open editors when switching to a branch for the first time. Dedicated commands for viewing. To make it easier to view specific types of changes in the multi-file diff editor, we have added a set of new commands to the command palette: get view stage changes, get view changes, and get view untracked changes. You can use new layout for the notebook error render with the testing notebook.output. So I don't really understand this as well. I already thought that was a feature. Save, restore open editors when switching branches. Yeah, I don't really understand. Like, I thought when you switch to a branch, like, I don't know what this means. Open editors and switching branches. Oh, so like, okay, I guess if you like had, I don't know, I guess if you had other files open, like if you had a certain set of files open, and then like you switch branch, and maybe on the other branch, like 2 of those files didn't exist, so those 2 files were no longer open when you switched back. And then like when you switch back to the other branch with the 2 files, instead of those 2 files not being open, like those 2 files would be open now. I guess that's probably what something like that. Middle click paste support. Paste text quickly in the terminal using a mouse middle click. On most Linux distributions, middle click pastes the section. Similar behavior can now be enabled on other operating systems by configuring terminal.integrated.middle click behavior to paste, which pastes the regular clipboard content on middle click. Okay. So you just, so instead of hitting Control V, you just do middle click. Okay. That's cool. I mean, you know, whatever. If it saves a million people 1 second, save the world, you know, a million seconds. WSL over remote. Use WSL when connected to a remote machine via remote SSH. Use WSL when connected to a remote machine via remote. I have no idea what WSL is. Navigate through comments, chat code blocks, and terminal commands from the accessible view. Okay, keyboard shortcuts for UI. Customize key bindings for UI actions directly with a right click. We've made it more straightforward to customize key bindings for user interface actions. Right click on any action in your workbench and select Customize Key Binding. If the action has a when clause, it's automatically included, making it easier to set up your key bindings just the way you need them. Okay, so this I do want to see. What are they doing here? Configure key binding. Okay. And then Control R. So that was it. Okay. Oh, so there's a keybind. See, I didn't know that keybind. Control / to split the, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that keybind. Okay, well that's cool. Search for text across your workspace with quick search. Okay, what's this? We have quick search enables you to quickly perform a text search across your workspace files. Quick search is no longer experimental, so give it a try. Okay, so it's like a drop down. It's a drop down instead of a like a instead of having like its own, I guess, let's see. So normally you would do Control F and then you would have to, it doesn't have like a drop down list. If you did Control Shift F and then did A, then you have to like, I guess like, I'm not, like where do you even use this? Like how do you use this? Note that all quick search commands and settings no longer have the experimental keyword in their identifier. For example, the command ID workbench action experimental quick text search became workbench.action.quick text search. So it'd be relevant if you have settings or keybinds that use old IDs. Okay, so how do you use quick search? How do you do that? How do you use quick search? I might need to print this bad boy out and put it on my wall. Okay, so you can do Control H. So when you do Control F, you can go Control H to bring up replace. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I thought you had to like click it. Alt Enter, select all occurrences of find match. So if I were to find .id and then do Alt Enter. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. And you can just select them all at one time. I mean, that's similar to doing replace all, but I never feel safe doing that because you can't actually see them. You might, like, you know, mess something up like that. It's dangerous in my opinion. Okay. So I still don't know how to do quick search. How do you do quick search? It doesn't tell me. Let's bookmark this. We'll save it to programming. And this will just be VS Code keybinds. Okay. Python VS Code, well, quick search. Press Control Shift F. Okay, so that was quick search. This. Okay, so that was quick search. Same difference. It's just in a different spot. You can put it on the top instead. So how do you move it? I wonder. Like, how do you drag and drop it? Customize the layout. I mean, I'm actually used to it being over here. I'm kind of fine with that. Like, I'm okay with that being over there. So, yeah. Alright, well. AI-powered rename suggestions. Get intelligent rename suggestions in the editor with Copilot. Okay, yeah, that's for, Copilot content exclusion. Excludes files from being used in the Copilot context. Local workspace extension. Include and install extensions directly in your workspace. Local workspace extensions first introduced in the VS Code 188 Okay. Well, that's cool. Okay. Fine. Anyway, well, that was the... I mean, I didn't really gather too much from that, but whatever. It's good to read the updates. Could have learned something like, you know, game changing from that. So today's the 3rd. We actually started like 15 minutes ago, so I'll put 1:30. And let's see, where we removed received object and all associated code since we don't need the client object to access the ID anymore since we send the ID directly. Also made it so that we add the ID instead of the key of object from the receive object as the final tuple element for the inc timestamp list tuple. And then change all associated comments as well. We refactored send receive code and client and server, so now only the client ID and client change attribute list is sent are sent instead of the entire client object. Okay. Alright, so where exactly are we starting off? I don't think we stopped at a specific line. There's a way to collapse all. I bet there is. I bet there's a way to collapse all. Let's see. Let's VS Code collapse all. Control M sets all regions to the same collapse. Control M or Control L. So if we do I don't know what just happened. What? No, it's not collapsing anything. Collapse range. Shift click on the folding indicator. Only folds the inner ranges. Shift click again when all inner ranges are already folded. Okay, well, whatever. I guess there's not a specific keybind for that. Okay, so we need to take care of this stuff then. Ensure, which one are we going to start with? More derivative circularity, custom append list, derivative circularity. Ensure all received data avoid circular sends. I think I'll start with this one because I actually already had started this one. I did all the ones with setters. Yeah, I'm quite certain I did that. I'll just double check though. It's not at setter, it's dot setter. Yeah, so we can remove that because remember we determined that we don't have to have a setter, and we don't ever set it, so. This is another one where the setter is never actually used. This is another one where it's never actually set. Rid of that. Well, but if it's no, yeah, if it's never set directly. Think about this for a second. Okay, we can actually look at these. Yeah, we never actually set it. We just check it. So there's no point in having a setter. Same thing for that. We always check it. We never actually set it. And then same for this, we check it. We never set it. Okay, yeah, so we're good there. Okay, yeah, so the setters are all taken care of because the rest is just text files. Okay, so now without the setter, received data without setters. And we're checking to make sure that we avoid circular sends. Okay, so to do this, we need to look at all the sent data. And isn't there another thing? What else did we want to do? Okay, derivative circularity, and then ensure all data is always transferred via the current client changed attribute list. Realize I didn't actually check the adders code to ensure it was being transferred properly. Go back over again and check the associated code this time. Okay, so that is just making sure that every data change that needs to be sent is sent. And as far as like making sure all the attributes that should be transferred are transferred, I'm pretty positive over the course of time we have established those lists, and I refactored and updated those lists like yesterday or day before yesterday as the changed the transferred adders list, and I made them one for each file. So it shows you everything, every attribute that is transferred and every attribute that's not transferred. So do before post DTM game test. Ensure RC do it. Yeah, so we're just gonna go file. Basically, this is gonna be, I'm gonna do these two together. since we're already going through every single attribute to make sure that it's not circularly sent, we're also going to be making sure that it is sent properly, I guess. I mean, what exactly is all data is transferred via the current climate change attribute list? I mean, how else would we transfer it? I don't know. I don't really. I guess I just wanted to make sure that they're being transferred. Yeah, I don't. I'm just like thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't really understand what exactly I meant. But since we're going through each attribute anyway, like I'll just pretty much give them a quick review to make sure that everything looks good as far as like, you know, are we sending them properly, etc., etc. So let's look at display layer. We already did that. Display layer has a setter. I think, yeah. Alright, yeah, so here's display layer, and we're making sure we're not circularly sending it. Yeah, so we have we change the display layer, then we say just change the display layer is equal to true. Switches on, and what does that do again? Switches on this Boolean switch, so in the case when only the card display layer has been changed, while the X or Y have not been changed, an update is called. The card is repainted, redrawn by changing self.dirty equal to 1. Okay. This is now a special case scenario. Added and data transfer equal to true to have this happen only whenever the game is performing. Location of the draw animation during the draw too. If self.change from dir check is equal to false, and card.data transfer is equal to true, then C1 change attribute list append, time, perf counter NS, game, card group data, self X, self Y, self val, and then self.id. Yep. Okay, so that one's good. Okay, next one is prior card group name. Let's do Control Shift F on that and find. This one is not a. It's not a property. It is just a. It is just a regular attribute. So let's make sure we are transferring it. Okay, so here, this is for when we receive it. Card.prior card your name equal receive data 0. Okay. And the cards change from dir check. Well, that's irrelevant to this. That's a check. That's a check. That's a check. That's a check. Check. More checking. Okay, here we go. So this is where we do set it. Okay, and we put do not transfer this line along with pretty much everything else in this file associated with .append, pop, and clear do not need to be transferred as long as the associated method is executed. All of these data changes that happen after the method call are derivative and therefore do not need to be transferred. Okay, yeah, that's that's absolutely correct. Glad I added that comment. Very helpful. So basically, anything that's in custom append list, and that's a different task. We're going to take care of that task after. So same case there. Do not transfer because it's set. And now here, this one also is do not transfer. I'll even add the second do not transfer just so I make sure I don't miss this. Because that is really important. That would be double transferring, and I don't want to do anything like that. That's going to cause bugs, of course. Okay, now this one is transferred. Verify this is coded correctly again. But aren't I supposed to send that as a string? If type of card ID is equal to string. When round reset is called and the prior card group names are all set equal to none. Since this change doesn't occur inside of an append by which prior card group name would be changed derivatively, here we append the string of card ID instead of the actual in card ID to see when changes to signify the special case. Okay, so that's supposed to be in progression. Okay. And this is where we should say transferred. And that's the only place. So this is actually wrong. This is supposed to be current card ID. So it should be -1. It should say received. Yeah, the card group name is 0, and then the card ID. If the length of the received data is 2, card ID is received data 1. Yeah, because the card group name is 0. So yeah, that's correct. But if the type of the card ID, which is at index 1, should be a string. So we have to go here that this is bugged. Because this is the only time it's changed, and this is in round reset, and we said we were supposed to make it into a string. I mean, or we could just say if the length of the change, of the change attribute list entry is 2 means that we're dealing with, instead of doing elif type of card ID is equal to string, we would say if the length of received data is equal to 2. We're dealing with a special case scenario from line 1432 and Pi's round reset function. If the length is equal to 2, we are dealing with the scenario. If the length is equal to 4, we are not dealing with the special case. See, so yeah, we literally put the only time that the length of the received data is equal to 2, so then we do card, we get the card change vertex is equal to true, type of card ID is equal to int, so instead we could just say if the length of received data is equal to 2, and then we could just say if length of received data is equal to 4, or rather we'd switch it. So actually this should be switched, because you always want to put the more common instance first, and then the less common second, because it will save a tiny bit of computational power. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Yeah, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 are together. Okay, there we go. So now it's if length of received data is equal to 4, card ID is equal to received data at 3. If length of received data is equal to 2, card ID is equal to received data at 1. And then we'll just so we'll just do this. We'll just copy, and then if length of received data is equal to 4, and then if length of received data is equal to 2, so the length of received data is equal to 2. Yeah, so already set is called, and the prior card names are all set equal to none. Since this change doesn't occur inside of an append, by which the prior card may be changed, we append the string card. Here, the length of entry into is 2 instead of 4 to signify the special case. Modified to include, and this was modified today, which is the 3rd. Okay. Yeah, well, I double checked it and I was wrong. It was not coded correctly. Okay, so that took forever, but that's done. Okay, so now X, I'm pretty, like, we already checked X, we already know X is, yep, that one's transferred properly and not circularly. Well, we also actually need to check for when we're receiving display layer. So let's see. So let's for when we receive display layer, so this would fall under card group data. So yeah, we make change from dir check equal to true first. So whenever we do modify it, it's gonna check. It says if self change from dir check is equal to false, and card data transfer is equal to true. Only then will it be appended to the change attribute list. Same thing for Y. And then same thing for display layer. Yeah, so yep, that's good. And then prior card group name is that one's not a setter. So whenever that one's received, that's right here, we just set it directly and it's not going to be appended to the change attribute list. Okay, so that's verified as not circularly. And I can put here verified not circularly sent via receive. Okay, so we're done with that file. So to the next one, change attribute list. That one is so now we're in client. So the transferred adders is the change attribute list. And like that's sent differently. That's the data that is actually sent over the network, like the object that we send along with the ID. Yeah, so I'm almost certain we don't have to worry about those not being circularly sent via receive. Yeah. Okay, so that's done for that file. And next is going to be custom append list. Okay. So transferred adders for custom append list is none. So we don't transfer anything. Card group name, dictionary, change attribute list, meld group name to player, ref list to skeleton listed. Yeah, we don't want to transfer any of that, so that's done. Easy. So we'll close that file and then do custom logger. Same thing with custom logger. Yeah, none of this is transferred. We forgot to create a transferred adder, and this should be at the top. That's in the convention I use. I put this at the tippity top. So I'll just copy this right above init as a class level. And this was actually created on the 3rd. Same thing here is created on the 3rd. Transferred adders here though is going to be none, and non-transferred adders are going to be so print log switch is not transferred. On off switch is not transferred. Log list, none of this stuff is transferred. Yeah, so none of that's transferred. So we just add all this to the non-transferred adders. Why I put these in reverse order, I don't know. Well, they're actually supposed to be in alphabetical order. I'm tripping. So L, I, L, O, P, O, and then P. Okay, so, and we can put verified. Well, we don't have to do that because, yeah, they're not transferred at all, so I don't even need to put that there. Okay, so this one's done. So now we're on custom time list. Same thing, nothing here is transferred. Okay, so that one is done. Now the next one is going to be deck. Okay, so this is gonna be, all right, so how do we, what is this transferred through? It's called the what? What's it called? So since these can be read on one line, actually I think I should have them on one line.